So I thought I'd make a run up to the creek up here, kind of where I usually early in the season I usually do some trout fishing, and I've trout fished up here for hell, I don't know, since the latter part of the 80s, I guess. This is up here at the upper Chattahoochee River area, just above Helen. A lot of people that maybe come to Helen, it's kind of a little German themed little town, so we get a lot of tourism, and people, they pretty much frequent this little road here at the end of town a good bit. It goes through used to be Mark Trail Wilderness area, where it comes out all the way across the mountain. But I don't know, it's just a quick getaway for locals like me. It's always been a quick getaway if you want to go trout fishing early in the morning before you go to work, or on the weekends, whatever. But it's but I've always come early in the season, and of course part of that was because we had a trout season, and up until 2-3 years ago they made it year-round. You can trout fish now. So being a creature of habit as we tend to be, I got used to going trout fishing early in the year, and then switching up and going bass fishing, catfishing, whatever, later on in the year. But I don't know, I decided to come up here this morning. It was like 27, I think it was 27 degrees, I think was the low this morning at the house. But I figured, make a run up here right quick. This is fixing to be, actually today, let's see, it's fixing to be the 1st of December. Actually, today may be the 1st of December. Yeah, today's December 1st, actually. Lost track, because our Christmas parade in town is Saturday, so, and that's the 3rd. But anyway, I figured I'd make a run up here and I don't know, throw out a line and see if there's anything still in here. We get this place gets a lot of heavy traffic, again, because all the tourists, they come here to trout fish through the season, and it gets a lot of heavy action on it through the year. I was just kind of curious this morning. I woke up and I was like, I wonder, here it is, 1st of December, and I wonder if there's anything left in the stream, if there's anything left in these creeks up here. So I figured I'd make a run up here right quick, and I've got to be back in town by noon, so I figured I'd make a run up here right quick and just toss out the line a little bit, and maybe do some old-fashioned, back in the old days, everybody used to, you went trout fishing around here, everybody pulled corn, just old canned corn, So I grabbed some stuff out of some mixed vegetables last night. We're going to maybe put that on a hook, see if we can catch anything, make it a little more, let's make it a little challenging. We're going to go in December, after all the trout season's hit and everybody's been up here, heavy traffic on the stream, and then I'm going to try something odd, throw out there on a hook. Let's try that too. So anyway, see what we can get into here, see what we can find. I stopped here to kind of check out a spot and realized what flew just across the creek, and I don't know if you can be able to see him, but there's actually a bald eagle. If anybody's ever wondered, we do have bald eagles in Georgia, up here in the mountains. Let's see if I can get a shot of him. He flew up. There he goes. There he goes. Beautiful. Bald eagle. Right here in Georgia. He's taking off down through there. Isn't that cool? That's pretty awesome. That's what makes these little spur of the moment getaways. That's what makes it worth it. When you just stop all of a sudden. Nothing told me to stop here. I was actually gonna stop and get my tripod and set it up down there and just get a little B-roll shot of the vehicle coming through. And I got out and stepped around the other side, and he must have been down there trying to catch him a trout. That was pretty cool. You know, it's funny, you go grab your old tackle bag. I haven't been fishing much this year, other than when we went down to Florida. We went down to Apalachicola, Carabel, and come back though, and I threw some stuff in right quick, take my grandson fishing, and you know, come back and just threw everything back in the shop. And I go through my tackle bag, and what do I find? Old piece of bread that was left over. You hear that? That's a piece of bread he was using to make dough balls out of. Boy, that thing toasted itself over the fall and summer. But anyway, I don't know. I kind of got a mix of stuff in here. Like I said, I grabbed some old corn and stuff out of some mixed vegetables last night. I'm gonna take it back to being a kid here, and I've got some mealworms, and what have I got here? Yeah, I got some little mealworms. I'll throw them in my pocket. But actually, I got a couple different kinds. What do I got here? I got these too. I'll throw them in my pocket. But I want to try to, I don't know, I'm gonna throw a piece of that corn or a piece of carrot or something on there. I know that sounds silly, but you'd be surprised. I've been fishing up here a long time and run to a lot of old timers and, you know, just regular old poor folks, you know. Ain't got a lot of money to go out and buy, you know, a lot of stuff, and they just use what they got at home, and yeah, it is what it is. And I've seen a lot of them old timers come out of here with some nice trout, and you know, you never know. Anyway, I'm gonna tie a little hook on here, and I'm just gonna I'm not even gonna take my bag down with me. I'm just gonna throw this hook on, and let's see, I'll throw these other little small ones in my pocket here. I kind of get amused sometimes, and I don't mean to poke fun, because everybody does their own thing, and I'm all about that, you know, do your thing. But I've always fished here, you know. I've come here early spring, February, and I've just come before work, before I've gotten down in this creek with my steel-toe boots on and blue jeans, and I've walked this whole creek and fished and come out with my limit more times than I can count. And I get a little amused sometimes. I see some of these folks that come here from out of town or from Atlanta, and you know, they want to learn to trout fish, and well, you know, they kind of get caught up in what they find online and what they might see on the videos and such, and you know, they come up here with waders and vests and their fly rods and all that, and there's good fly fishing here if that's what you're into. But some of us folks that's been around here a good while, you know, we just kind of grab what we got and we go, and I don't know if you want to call it country fishing. I don't know what you want to call it, but you know, and we come out of here with just as many trout as anybody else does, I reckon. So anyway, we're gonna try this little spot right here. This is kind of a very well-known little stretch. A lot of people come here and swim. We come here and swim during the summertime. Nice little swimming hole. Back years ago when I first started coming, they didn't even have these steps here. I'll show you how long I've been coming here. They built these steps many years ago, and now they're not maintaining them, so you got to be careful coming down through them. And there's actually 2 or 3 other ones you got to kind of watch where you're stepping, and some of them you just got to avoid altogether. Just go ahead and go back down the bank like we used to in the old days. But you got to be careful. Obviously, as you can tell, somebody has fallen before with these steps. But this isn't any big special location. Anybody that's come to Helen, Georgia, or come trout fishing up here pretty much knows this spot. It's just easily accessible right off the road. But I figured, being I was making a quick run and got to be back in town at lunch, so Figured this would be a good spot to just come spend a little time, get me some nature medicine. It's always good to get out and clear your head. It's a pretty good spot. Water's up a little bit. If you can see, there's a rock right out there. In the summertime, usually that's exposed a little bit. Everybody swims out and sits on it. But, I don't know. Let's see what happens. I don't know if you can see this, but this is something we used to do as kids, and I did on up into growing up really, but put your little piece of corn on there and let's see what happens. A little note this time of year, you know, after fall, all the leaves are in the creek, so you've got these little swirling pools of leaves and debris. So as you throw your line out, of course, upstream, and let it drift back down on its own, sometimes you get in these little pools of leaves and they swirl around and they'll kind of get in there and get hung on it. And you just got to be patient and kind of feel for what's going on. These trout up here are usually hit kind of quick, so you can kind of tell the difference, but still got our corn. I know some guys would, you know, some of these big professional fishermen, I'm sure they'll give me hell for, oh, you fishing with corn, or, you know, like you fishing with worms or whatever, but again, you know, it works, you'd be surprised. Well, not sure if there's nothing in there, or if they're just not wanting to hit the corn, but let's throw one of these mealworms on and see if we get a hit off of that. I can say it is December now, and this is a very heavily fished spot. And this was just kind of I don't know, experiment, I guess. See if there's anything still up here after the season is gone, and Oktoberfest has just ended too, so that last little heavy run of people coming to northeast Georgia to the mountains to so we're going with a little mealworm. You know, that last little tourist crowd just hit, and Oktoberfest is done and everything will die down now. Won't be as many people up here, but that also means, you know, all that heavy fishing traffic is just finished, and so, you know, Let's give that a shot. See if we get anything off this little guy. A little bit of a hit there just a minute ago, I believe. At the end of the mealworm off, and I got hung up. For those of you that may not know, if you're new to fishing, I don't know if you paid attention when I got hung up, I kind of popped that line a couple of times, and lots of times that'll send a little surge down the fishing line. It'll sometimes free your hook if you're not hung up too much. Well, if anything, the water's nice and cool, and of course it's December, so that's just more than cool. It's cold. But again, you know, these spots they're pretty heavily fished, and here we are, end of the season, December. Oktoberfest just finished up, which is a big tourist attraction here in the little town of Helen, Georgia, and you know, a lot of the guys come up here, and it's such a quick, easy hop over in here to throw out a line, you know. So they fish it pretty heavy, and but just the same, it's always nice to, you know, come on out, and even if you know you're not going to catch anything, which is my case, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to catch anything. But you know, if anything, it was worth it. The trip was worth it. Just to get the shot of the eagle, you know. Just to get that fresh mountain air, you know. Be around that fresh, cool water. Nice crispness to the air this morning. Damn sure settles in that feeling of, you know, the holidays are here, Christmas is coming. And so, but anyway, just figured I'd hop out right quick. I've actually got to get to town and pick up my grandson at lunch from daycare. So hope you guys enjoyed this quick little outing. It really wasn't nothing exciting, of course, didn't catch nothing, but you know, I hope you enjoyed it. And if you don't care, give me a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that stuff everybody says all the time. Join us next time for another episode and see what we get into. I'm not sure what we're going to do next. Been thinking about doing some exploring of some old rundown abandoned places, and then again I may go find another location to see some nice rock features or water features or whatever. I don't know, that's the thing about my page. It's outdoors, but it can be anything outdoors. So anyway, come back and see us sometime. Come back and see us next time. I gotta quit driving and film at the same time because here comes a vid. Bye.